Wow, a lot of stuff has happened.
It's just my opinion.
Hey everybody, how you doing? And welcome to Sway. That's right, welcome to the channel where I give you my absolute honest opinion and I don't give a flying how you feel about it. And as always, I have my trusty Coke, a trusty Smoke. And before I get started, do not forget to hit like, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification icon so you can be notified of every time that I post a video. Also, make sure you comment, make sure you, what else? Oh, and if you like the stuff that I do, make sure you share it wherever. I got a bunch of new subscribers as of late. And to all my new subscribers, welcome, 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 welcome to the channel. And this channel is like a mix of a little bit of everything, okay? Where even though it's been a while, but I do cover things on the conspiracy theory, spirituality, UFO or UAP stuff. I cover about a little bit about everything. So for the new subscribers, many of you subscribed after I I created that video from a live stream that CW Chanter did a couple weeks ago, and I had fun with it, you know, showing, just showing love, just showing love and respect to CW Chanter, just it was, so to all of you who subscribed for whatever reason, whether it was from the CW Chanter video, whether it was for my post on Twitter, whatever, just welcome to each and every one of you. Again, my name is Sway, and in this channel I cover about a little bit about everything. Originally, it was called ET Contact because I was going to be covering about the things in ufology, some things in spirituality, and let me just move my camera a little bit more forward. Okay, some things on spirituality and whatever, and then I changed it to just Sway because I want to cover more than that, right? I want to cover more than that, so I changed it to Sway because I want this channel to be versatile. With all that's going on top of the live stream where I made the video from, but there was an argument going on between Ari Stone and a lot of other people, just like whether like Paranormal Hood and whoever, and I just can't remember right now. I got if I look at my Twitter real quick, see if I can find. But there was kind of like an argument going on, and let me see if I can find it. But anyway, there was a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of argument going on with between Ari Stone and Paranormal Hood, and one of the things that caught my attention in the argument was, now I've said this before, I have a lot of love and respect for Ari Stone and what she does. I don't necessarily agree with the dream stuff. Okay, don't get me wrong. And I've said this many times on previous videos. I'm very skeptical about everything, including my own experiences. Okay, including my own experiences. And I'll share with you some things where I've had dreams. I've had dreams of a lot of things, and it came to light. It came to light of it happening. It came to light that actually came true, but it wasn't like I was. It wasn't like I was necessarily. And I'm sorry for the bouncing. Is I guess is the table. No, but it's more. I wasn't like thinking to myself, oh, this is definitely gonna happen. To me, I was more in the realm of that was a strange dream, and it's possible that it can happen because in my life, I've had plenty of what you would call prophetic dreams that has happened, and I know that it is, to me at least, not to everybody else, but to me at least, I know that it is possible. But again, I'm very skeptical about it. I'm very skeptical. I analyze my own dreams. I think about them, and I admit to the fact that sometimes a dream is just a dream. It just doesn't mean anything. It's just like if you're stressed out, at nighttime, that your subconscious processes everything that from all the stress and turns it into a dream. And I understand that completely. But from my own experiences, even within my skepticism, um I've had some dreams on a lot of things. Okay. Now, within this debate or argument between Ari Stone and Paranormal Hood, again, and I've said this before, I'm an outsider. I purposely keep myself out of the loop. So that way I can always give an outsider's opinion on things. So because I keep myself out of the loop, I have no idea what the hell is actually happening on a lot of things. So what happens is, I believe it was Paranormal Hood. He said he said something to Ari Stone, something to the effect of how her dreams her prophetic dreams or whatever are fake, because how many times has she said that he was, he, Paranormal Hood, what he was a part of, like a cabal or something like that, getting paid by Corey and so on and so forth and whatever. And I believe Ari Stone acknowledged what she said, and she bit down even harder on it. And it's not the first time it has happened, apparently. From what I gathered in throughout the whole Twitter thing. Um, and okay, now this is not the first time I've ever seen things like this before, because and I'm not even going to be talking about David Wilcock or anything, because you can do your own research on that. But I okay, being involved in Christian ministry for as long as I have, I've met many people who call themselves prophetic dreamers. Okay, that they call themselves prophetic dreamers, and they swear to God that all of their dreams are prophecies, or that they mean something or whatever, and they break everything down, so on and so forth. No, I'm not. No, I'm not gonna say anything about Ari Stone. Again, I have a lot of respect for her. I have a lot of respect for what she does, but it is very possible that she possibly made a mistake. it's very possible that she made a mistake, and that her dream about everybody on Paranormal Hood, especially the main guy, uh, it could have just been a stress related dream, and she felt that it was a prophetic type of dream. I'm just thinking outside. I'm thinking out, I'm thinking, I'm trying to think of this logically and what have you. But and I'll give you an example. There was like, again, I was saying there's a person who called themselves a prophetic dreamer, who basically was doing the same stuff that Ari Stone was doing. It came to a point. It came to a point where in the ministry circles, he started accusing me of doing certain things. He said, "Oh, I saw this in the dream. That Sway was doing such and such and such, and blah blah blah, and this, that, and the other." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" In other words, he was defaming my character, saying all this BS and whatever. So I had to settle that. I had to settle that. Mind you, this person and me and this person, we were never friends. I only knew him in passing. I only knew him in passing. I only knew this person um in the ministry circles type of stuff. But that's it. I did it. He wasn't my best friend. He wasn't he wasn't my beer drinking buddy. He was he wasn't someone that I would associate with on a daily basis. It was just more of we would see each other. So it came a time where he was ministering, and I was there at that church building, and he says, "Okay, it was the call to prayer. It was the call to prayer at the end of usually at the end of a Protestant service. There's a call to prayer, and if people want to give, if people want to accept Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior, or they want a prayer of healing or whatever, they can just go to the altar and to be prayed for." So, being one of the ministers that was there, that was asked to be there as another guest, I was asked to pray over people. Okay, that's not a big deal. But then at the end, he goes, he says, "I want all the ministers to come over here, and I'm going to pray for you." I'm like, okay. So over every minister, he's praying, and then he goes and says, "And I had a dream about you, and this dream was whatever." And he was doing this to everybody. He was doing this to everybody, and and then he gets to me, and it's the same thing. But as he gets to me, I'm hearing the other brothers, mind you, the other ministers that were there. I knew them really well. We used to hang out all the time. We were, we're really good friends. So I know them like I know like the back of my hand, and I can hear them talking amongst themselves as he's going. But by the time he gets to me, I'm like, I already know he's gonna say some BS too, because everybody, he was like, like this person, like this one brother, he was like, "I had a dream about you, and God told me that you were cheating on your wife." And then he goes to another brother, "I had a dream about you, and God told me blah blah blah," and just so much crap. So I'm hearing the commotion, and at this point, the pastor of the church, by the time there's like about maybe five other brothers after me, but but after he gets to me, at this point, the pastor, who again, we're all friends, we all know each other, he stops the guy dead in his tracks, and he says, go to my office. This was the pastor. He said, go to my office and you stay there. You don't move. In the meantime, the pastor of the church, he starts apologizing to not only myself and the other ministers, but to the congregation that had to hear that. And he testifies that I know these men and women like the back of my hand. None of that is true. And this man just defamed their character. This man, so on and so forth. And so he ended the service, and he apologized. Obviously, we had a little meeting. He apologized to all of us. And then uh and then we all go into the office where this gentleman, dream preacher, prophet, whatever you want to call them, where he was sitting. And at this point, I'm heated. All of us were heated. We're pissed off. We're getting ready to punch a guy in the face. But out of respect for the pastor of that church ministry, we held our own. And it came to find out that something that we didn't know, but it came to find out that about a week or two later, again, this is because we don't associate with this guy. So it came to find out about a week before that service, that person and the daughter of the pastor of that church, they eloped and got married. So he was already, the pastor of that church was already pissed off because they eloped and got married, and he didn't even know that his daughter and that man were dating. There's like a secret that was being kept. So anyway, so we confronted the guy. He's already did that pastor dirty. Now he's doing us dirty. We confronted him. Hey, what the hell, man? What who you call yourself a prophet and you're saying all this stuff that's not even true? And one of the things that he said about me was that I was cheating on my wife. Here is the kicker. I wasn't even married at the time. This was about 3 or 4 years before I got married. I wasn't even dating. I wasn't even dating anybody at the time either. And some of the other stuff that basically, it was like there's two of us that he said were cheating on our wives. Okay. Me, I was one of them. And at that point in time, I wasn't even dating anybody. I wasn't married. I wasn't I was just in ministry. The other minister that he said that to and about, his wife passed away about 2 or 3 months before that service. So he was already in a sad mood. He was still grieving over the loss of his wife. The other three guys, with the stuff that he said that I don't even want to say, on camera, because it's even worse. It was like, what the hell? Like, what the freaking hell, man? So And it's not to say that all of his dreams were wrong or whatever. He's had some dreams that were correct. It was more of, for whatever reason, and psychologically, I guess because he couldn't become popular in the club of ministers. He had it in for all of us, but he doesn't realize that the reason why he wasn't popular in the club, so to speak, was because of his own doing, because of his own bullshit, because of his own crap, the way that he treated people, specifically. Nobody wanted to be around the guy. I mean, it's like we would throw him a bone to see if he's changed, and he shows himself to be the conniving evil snake that he is. And I'm not using that to compare to Ari Stone. I'm just like in that fashion. I'm just saying that I'm using it as an example of how people can be wrong and their dreams. Okay, it is very possible, and like I said, I don't know Ari Stone. Never met her. I don't know her personally at all whatsoever. We're Facebook friends. That's about it. Uh, I'm sure she's a wonderful lady. I'm sure she's just awesome, what have you. But in this instant of where she had a dream that Paranormal Hood is being paid off by like Corey Good or the government or whoever, I'm willing to bet she had that wrong. It would be the same shit when it was the same shit when Corey Good and David Wilcock were accusing Stina Maria, aka Stina Bobina, and C.W. Chanter of being part of the Dark Alliance and getting paid a hefty sum to be part of the Dark Alliance. And Stina Maria herself said it, where's my paycheck then? If I'm part of the Dark Alliance. So, one of the things about when it comes to dream prophecies and that sort of thing, from my own research and studying the mind and studying dreams and studying this, that, and the other, is you in like analysis and all of that, you have to be careful, and you have to understand and know and be able to tell what dreams are which. You have to be able to tell and know on like with 100% absolute certainty which dreams are just a dream based on stress, a dream based on wishes, a dream based on just a regular dream that it's because your subconscious is trying to tell you something. And then you would also have to be able to tell that and the difference between that and a what would you would call a prophetic type of dream. Okay. Now I know a lot of people, they don't believe in prophetic dreams. They don't think it's possible, and cool, good for them. I think it is possible. But I'm very, very skeptical of it. I'm very skeptical on the process that a lot of people use to try to be able to differentiate their dreams between a prophetic dream and just a dream of the subconscious. Okay. And it's just interesting because there's really no exact science to it, in my opinion. There's really no exact science to it to be able to tell what's the difference. I think it's more based on an individual person. And but the trouble uh with the trouble with that, and it being on the individual person, is the fact that unlike regular science where you have the scientific method, if you know, right, what's the scientific method? The main aspects of the scientific method is you have a theory or a hypothesis of, okay, my hypothesis is 1 plus 1 equals 2, right? And then you get into the testing phase of it, and then you observe while you're testing out your hypothesis. And then when you get the answer that 1 plus 1 equals 2, you have to you have to be able to reproduce that. You have to be able to reproduce that anytime, anywhere, any place, what have you. So because of the fact that there's really not a science for it, because it's more based on an individual person, you cannot reproduce the same results with every person, within every instances of a prophetic type dream. You see where I'm getting at? That's where we have the problem. And that's with a lot of things, especially in the psychological field. Especially in the psychological field. You see, a brief history on psychology, anybody that has taken psychology in college, and even like a basic psychology class in high school or secondary school, depending what part of the world you're from, right? University or secondary school or whatever, right? Um, in psychology, when you had the founders, like Wundt, all the way to Freud, all the way to, all the top people that were trying to make psychology into science, that was one of the problems that they had. And even by today's standards and today's methods, yes, with a lot of different things, you might be able to reproduce the same thing over and over again with every individual person, every individual mind. But because every individual person and every individual mind is different, you have a variable that is uncontrollable, which that's why for the most part, for many many years, psychology in many many circles has never been and will never ever be considered a science. So that's one of the problems that we have with especially now with this, with the dream thing and what have you. You can't reproduce the same results with every individual person who claims that they are a prophetic dreamer or what have you. Everything is based on the individual, their experience and whatever. So you can't use the scientific method. You can't use the scientific method with with prophetic dreams and what have you. And that's one of the problems that we have in a society where we want hardcore proof. We want the nuts and bolts of it. We want tangible proof that can be shown over and over and over again. In this field with dream prophecies or whatever, you can't there's no way to do that. There's no way you can have that. So again, I'm going back into the whole thing is that it is very possible, extremely possible, more than likely it is what happened, where she had a dream that came out to be that, but subconsciously she didn't uh, like Paranormal Hood because of his methods and the way that he does things and the way that he tries to debunk stuff and whatever. So subconsciously, she was probably thinking, he's probably the opposition being paid or whatever, which does happen in this field of the paranormal and ufology and the spirituality and whatever. It does happen where people, they, whether they truly believe it or not or whatever, they do have this thought process of that's just opposition from the government or whatever. And it does happen, and it does happen. It does happen. I think at this point, if both Ari Stone and Paranormal Hood were to really, and here's the thing, Paranormal Hood offered Ari Stone to come on his channel so they can talk, have a conversation. She refused. For her reasons, she refused, and I can understand. I guess I can understand her reasons, especially if she truly believes what she believes. But I think she should have taken that shot. I think she should have taken that chance to, she should have taken that chance to at least sit down and talk. And if at any point she felt, you know what, it wasn't worth it, she had the option of ending the conversation and just logging off. I think people forget that. People forget that they have the if you get invited to some kind of video chat or whatever, you have the option of just logging off at any point in time. So I think, in my opinion, Ari Stone should have accepted that offer by Paranormal Hood and just spoke her mind. They could have had a friendly debate, a friendly conversation, a friendly discussion, right? And even if they agreed to disagree on a lot of issues, but to put the main issue, put it past them, right? That's just my opinion on the topic. To the new subscribers that commented on my videos, on my video where I did the sea chanter, I'm gonna sue thing. Thank you. And that's about it for now. I'm dealing with a lot of pain, and I'm trying to keep a smile without going but just remember, my name is Sway. I love each and every one of you. Peace out.
It's just my opinion.